Hello. The next session will give you some insights on the building block of research and innovation of the mission Soil Health and Food. I will therefore share my screen to show you my presentation. So, Horizon Europe proposed mission, caring for soil is caring for life. We will talk now about research and innovation needs. My name is Alfred Grand. I'm an organic farmer and entrepreneur. I'm a member of the Mission Board for Soil Health and Food, and I'm also an EIP-AGRI ambassador that I'm really proud about. So, there are different building blocks at the mission, as already explained by my colleague. And so we are now focusing on the building block number one, cross-scale, inter- and transdisciplinary research and innovation program. So it's all about research and innovation now. Regarding research, a lot has already been done, but knowledge exists within individual disciplines only, and there is hardly any integrated knowledge and any integrated research has been done. And that is what we want to change with our proposal for the mission Soil Health and Food. So we are really advocating for a new approach regarding research and innovation. We want to see, on one side, systemic approach. So we want to see different stakeholders, and we want to see that soil is also seen not only as a resource itself, but also in the context of land, air, water, and other things. We want to see interdisciplinarity in the research, so different sectors, different research sectors working together on soil. This is really important, but also we want to see transdisciplinarity, what means that we want to see other stakeholders like farmers, landowners, foresters, but also citizens being involved in the research and innovation activities. There should be more contextualization. So that means there is not one solution that fits all, one size fits all, but you always have to think about soil is different in different landscapes, in different areas within Europe, in the north and the south, in the context of different climate situation, for example. And what we also like to propose at the mission for research and innovation is societal support. So there is a huge need to bring in the societal support also. And at the end, there is cross-scale integration that we are advocating with our new approach. All research and innovation activities are strongly committed to living labs and lighthouses. So there are key structures which identify the research and innovation gaps, which develop system approaches and integrated disciplines in cooperation with practitioners. So it's important to work together with an approach coming from practice to find solutions that are ready to be used by other practitioners and communicated to citizens. So there is a research and demonstration activity by the living labs and lighthouses. The majority of projects should use these structures. Living labs and lighthouses will go more in details on that topic on the tomorrow session. But living labs and lighthouses are not the only approach for research and innovation, because then you have some global issues or landscape issues where you cannot go on a specific lighthouse or living lab with that approach. So what about the dimensions? We want to have two dimensions. So there is soil health itself, and then there is also the drivers for soil health. So if we talk about soil health research, which is focused on soil health, what is a healthy soil, for example, and which indicators make sense in each context. So this would be, for example, directly the dimension of soil health. But there is also another dimension, which are the drivers that impact soil health. So for example, management, which management, the research which addresses the drivers are soil management, and that also requires social scientists. So how do land managers, how do farmers, foresters behave, and how can we change these behaves within our research dimension in drivers? We also have 4 priorities for research and innovation. Number 1 priority is the integration and uptake of current knowledge. So as I already said, there is a lot of research has already been done. And using data platforms that are already installed, link data between already conducted research and already received research results, but also identify mechanisms that constrain implementation. So why are these results not put into practice, and why are they not used for soil health topics? Promotion of implementation through lighthouses. So lighthouses are places where demonstration for landowners, for farmers take place, and improvement of extension and advisory service. So that's also important to get a better level of extension service and advisory service, especially of independent extension and advisory services. Priority number 2, accelerating innovation in technologies and practices. So these are, for example, living labs will play a big part in that. Living labs are farms, for example, that where co-creation takes place, co-creation between different stakeholders like farmers and researchers. But also it's important when we want to accelerate innovation to have new design of incentives, like on the market, financial incentives, for example, through the GAP regulations and policy tools. Then there is a need for innovation in technological projects, for example, but also to design new forms of collective actions at landscape scale. Priority number 3, towards global resilience through circular economy and adaptation of food and biomass systems. So, for example, this would mean we want to see a development of food printing tools where you can measure how different methods affect soil health on a global scale, for example, or on a larger dimension. Development of international research cooperations, co-creation of new market mechanisms, measuring the influence of agricultural practices on a large scale, promotion of shorter value chains and circular economy, the development of supportive policies and incentives, communication creation, engagement mechanisms, co-design of models towards more sustainable food production and consumption, and waste production or more waste reduction. The 4th priority is next generation monitoring and surveillance programs. So the creation of a pan-European approach for setting standards for soil health, the improvement of national soil health monitoring, but also the provision of data into open data platforms and modeling of platforms. So this is the next generation monitoring and surveillance programs. So what are your thoughts on the research and innovation needs for the mission Soil Health and Food? I'm very much looking forward to get your comments and see what you think about what should be done in regard to research and innovation at the mission Soil. Thank you.